Okay. Are we on? Hello, my name is Hadassa Esther Auerbach, and I am Mrs. Brown's daughter. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction. My mother and her parents were on the train together with a family of a mother and a father and two young boys. I think one was about 9 and one was 11 or 7 and 9.
Yeah, 11,
and they
yeah.
were originally from Dusseldorf. And I think they also had come from Vienna. No, not from Vienna.
Belgium.
And then they were on the
Belgium, but
train
they're
from
from
Belgium.
Belgium.
They were fleeing to France. And they were on the train from Monday until the following Saturday night. And they ended up in the same village. And unfortunately, they came and took this family away to an internment camp. And what happened is that after a while, the older son, who was a little boy, developed pneumonia. And he was put into a local hospital. And the French who were running the internment camp allowed the parents to visit their child once a week. There were obviously no antibiotics at the time, and it was a long period of time that the child was in the hospital. And once a week, the parents were permitted to visit him, but not the younger child. They left the younger child in the camp as a hostage. And this went on week after week. And one day, the younger child had an idea and said to his father, "Papa, why don't I escape and climb over the fence or under the fence while you are at the hospital, and let's run away with my big brother?" The father was so shocked that the child would dare to express an idea and suggest an idea on his own when children were seen and not heard in those days, that he slapped him across the face when he suggested that.
Or maybe he thought it was too dangerous or something might happen.
Also,
He
yes.
said that he thinks his father was shocked that he would just speak up because he wasn't accustomed to doing that. That was his interpretation.
Just got to read it.
Nevertheless, a week later, the father approached him and said, "We are going to the hospital today to visit your older brother, and we want you to climb over the fence or under the fence and meet us at such and such a time, at such and such a place. We're going to smuggle your brother out of the hospital, and we are going to run away." And that's what happened. They ran away. They were refugees. They literally had the clothes on their bodies and nothing else. And they ran away and they fled. And they fled to the nearby town where there was a Jewish family who lived there. And they said, "What should we do? We are with our clothes on our backs and nothing more, with no papers. Where should we go?" And he knew that my mother had connections with the police and with the mayor of the town, and that she might be able to help them. He sent them to the Slezengers, and they knew my mother and her parents because they had been on the train with them. And they showed up on Shabbos. And my grandparents and my mother were living in one room and could not obviously share the room with an extra 4 people. But my mother went to the mayor of the town. My mother was a beautiful girl who had tremendous chen. Hashem put her chen into people's eyes, which is a nes. The thing is that nobody could survive without food stamp. It wasn't food stamps, but it was food.
Like a ration. There was ration.
Yeah, ration cards. Nobody could survive without bread rations. You had to have that to survive. So my mother went to the mayor, and she gave a story that they came from Lyon. They needed to be in the country because they had a child who wasn't well.